Anyway,
I would love that.
What are your predictions on the Olympics? What do you think is going to happen?
You know, I'm very careful about giving my predictions because apparently when I do it, it does
I can give you mine first if you want.
Yeah,
that way I
for
can
it.
out jinx you if you want.
I don't want to jinx anybody.
I think the United States will win the team.
Yeah.
But I think it'll probably be by the smallest margin that's ever happened.
In a while.
Yeah. I said this in the last Olympics. I said that I brought up that Soviet Union aspect again, right? And I think that I think the USA is going through a growth spurt, and we're like weeding out a lot of the bad and good, and Safe Sport is doing its thing, and we're still figuring out exactly what that means and how to maneuver it, and all the conversations we had earlier about like soft versus tough coaching and what that looks like, and you know all that jazz. There's a lot of coaches that have made comments sparingly, to me over the past couple of years about their comfort and how they coach because of Safe Sport, and which is problematic in and of itself that they even say it. But
right.
in general, I think the USA is going through some growing pains, and I think we're gonna feel it on an international scale. And even if it doesn't happen right now, we might feel it later. And I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that. No. I think that allowing ourselves to get our house in order first before we like get into a new phase of what the potential world might look like in the world of gymnastics is probably for the better. I'm okay with letting Italy and France have their moment to shine on an international stage, or Brazil to kind of get back at it. I still have deep problems with the Russian system and the Chinese system in general, because I think that in a lot of ways they are the grandparents of the US model. But that's for another conversation. It's not like I'm ever gonna get any of them to sit down here with me, right? Like,
cool.
So I think that we'll win, provided that everything goes smoothly. I don't think that some of the things that people are expecting to happen are gonna happen, because I don't think people pay attention to international gymnastics the way they pay attention to U.S. gymnastics.
No, 100%. That's why I'm like, I know we're strong, but I don't pay attention to elite gymnastics hardly ever, because I'm just so over that. I just don't like the world. Yeah. So I'm just like jaded by it. I'm like, I don't really care, like in the best way. I'll keep up with it when it's Olympic time. Yeah. That's why when I was trying to make my predictions, I was trying to do a bunch of research because I hadn't been keeping up, and I was looking at numbers, but I'm not going to give a confident opinion or even whatever that I think, oh, for sure we're going to win this, Simone's going to win, because like I also know anything can happen. Yeah. People were really sure in Tokyo. Simone was really sure, but she got the twisties. She got a mental injury. And so for me, I'm like, anything can happen. Do I have a lot of confidence in our country? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think.
But I also know that other countries are really good.
They're coming.
I do know they're
really coming,
good.
And
because I saw them on the Worlds. Yeah. When I was watching, I was like, oh
no, they're coming.
Namore's good at bars.
Yeah.
This girl's, I like her. I want her to win.
No, they're coming. No, I mean, I watched the Chinese Olympic trials. I don't know if you caught that. I didn't
just go watch it just to see.
Oh man, Beam was.
But I remember being obsessed with them young, because I always wanted to mimic my bars like Nastia. I learned L grip at 9 years old and all of these things, and I would always.
Lucky you were that flexible.
Yeah, I've got pretty mobile elbows, shoulders. I've overextended elbows too. Yeah. But my coach at that time, she was on the Chinese national team. I mean, she literally designed our optional leotard. It was red and yellow. It was literally the Chinese colors. So I was really obsessed with that team, especially going into 2008.
All those pirouetting stuff is just like
the Onos, all this. I was obsessed. Heelys, I would do all of them on the floor bar. So there was a time I was super invested in that Chinese team and the American team, because it was going into Beijing. That's where it was hosted. So obviously China's favored because, and their bars at that time was phenomenal.
A girl on the Olympic trials. Now who knows how they're judging? Who knows? It'll change, right? But her difficulty score was 7.2.
Is that like the highest ever recorded?
Probably.
That's wild.
It's stupid.
Is it all pirouetting and connections? It's all pirouetting.
That's what's amazing. I think she's done some. I think she does a whole bunch of other stuff. But wow, it is like quite. It's a 7.2 difficulty. And then I still think Kayla Lamore is going to win bars. I think that Suni's a phenomenal bar.
What is her execution score?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I think her highest score has been like a 15.7.
Well, and it's funny because the
Chinese girl didn't get it like above a 15.7, even despite the execution.
Bars on Worlds, the individual, because I thought it was going to be Namor, and it wasn't.
At
Who run Worlds bars? Yeah,
I don't remember Worlds, but she wasn't at European Championships because something happened in France where the club that she was in France, she trains in France. She's a France native. And
Namor.
But, Namor. Yeah. But France has
she competes for a different country,
She competes from Algeria because her parents are Algerian immigrants. Okay. So France has this unique rule that France became it's like a sanctuary country essentially for sports. So France, France does this with soccer also. Like the French soccer schools are supposed to be like one of the most elite schools in the world. But France will let people get their French citizenship if they go to one of those schools. Okay. So what ends up happening is a lot of athletes from Africa, a lot of athletes from other parts of Europe, and a lot of athletes will go to France and go to the school, get their citizenship, get trained by the most elite schools, end up at a club team making millions of dollars, and then France will let them represent the country of their parents' origin.
That's pretty similar. Like I compare it to at Arkansas, we have a really strong track team, like the best track team in the world for college, whatever. And a lot of them will go back and represent their home country. So there was like Omar McLeod, he was on the Olympic team for Jamaica with like Usain Bolt, and I was good buddies with him, and so it was really interesting to see them. Yeah, they're and it's almost like they're I don't want to say using, but they're using the French system to get coached, and then they're going back home, and that's what they went to Arkansas to get coached, and then they went back home. And it's smart. Like,
from my understanding, she still hasn't gone home. She still trains in France, but then France also had this weird rule that like all of the gymnastics clubs, like all of the gymnastics clubs had to like sign into this this union of some sort. I'm not sure exactly how it worked. Okay. I'm getting the specifics wrong, but it turns out the owner and her didn't want to be part of that union. So essentially, I think that she originally wanted to represent France because that's where she's lived all her life. But she's like, but also I'm like probably the best bar worker in the world. Yeah. So I want to like show up and show off, and if I've got to do it through Algeria, then I'll do it through Algeria. Yeah. So Algeria now has the very first representative for gymnastics in on the world stage, and she's more than comfortable doing it. I'm pretty sure she's part of her heritage and she's part of her culture and things like that. But her coach is French, and I think they still train in France, but. Anyway, all that to say, I think she'll win bars because I think that routine is damn near flawless.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
I think
I need to go look and see.
I think the bar final is gonna be my favorite to watch because it was supposed to be Namor, Ferrari, maybe even Nina from the Netherlands, Darwell, or is it Belgium? I'm not sure. No idea. And then the Chinese girls, right? Yep. But I think Ferrari got hurt. And I don't think she's gonna be there. So
there's a lot of injuries that happened around trials times for like a lot of countries. It's very odd.
So and I think Suni will qualify, but I don't. Suni's a phenomenal bar worker, but I think on the world stage as it stands right now, I'm not sure
she's got a lot of difficulty, but she doesn't have the most. I don't think.
So I think it'll still be fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
But
she's so great.
But I think. I just think we haven't seen anything like Kayla for a very long time. Yeah. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited for her. Let me see. I think Simone will dominate. I think for Simone it's pretty like clear cut and dry. She'll make vault finals. She'll make floor finals. She'll make beam finals. I'm not sure she'll make bars finals.
Yeah.
And then she'll get the Yurchenko double pike. And it'll get recorded for her. Let me see. I think